Welcome back, everyone. We're talking about more.
Kirito's cock up my ass so fucking badly.
Yeah, you heard it straight from Scrub's mouth.
He's really into BDSM.
Fuck you. I don't even know to know. Now my secret's out. Oh shit. I better kill myself, I guess.
It's been. I think we intended to talk about this much earlier, but we didn't mean for it to be this long of a wait for the next episode of discussing Sword Art Online. But today we're talking about my personal favorite season of Sword Art Online.
Come on, the latest season's way better.
Well, the latest season, but we haven't watched the rest.
Fucking classic, man.
But Gun Gale Online is like my favorite. I should say at least the Death Gun arc is my favorite Sword Art Online. Sword Art Online arc.
It's the most consistently amazing and stupidity.
There's some really golden moments in like the Alicization stuff, but Alicization isn't even completely over yet, so I can't.
Yeah. I mean, it's on a good track.
It's on a good track.
Actually,
but we're not talking about that right now.
Alicization's over. We're now in Alicization War of the Underworld.
Oh, fuck. I didn't know that. I guess we should just delete the channel.
Yeah, well, okay. My hardcore Sword Art Online.
Yeah, you're not hardcore enough.
Yeah, I should lose my
Yeah, you just need to change your name to Softcore.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, Death Gun is my favorite arc in Sword Art Online.
Of all time.
One of the most hilarious villains of all time. Just fucking...
He's one of the best villains.
Yeah.
You fuckers say he's a rip-off of Darth Vader. No, he's so sick.
He's even better. He's even better than Darth Vader, man. He
has stock Darth Vader sound effects.
So actually, this is spoilers already. The show starts with Death Gun killing a guy. Cool.
Yeah.
And then episode 1...
A very funny...
so, like, the show sets...
reenactment of what they imagined it would look like.
Gun Gale Online sets up a mystery. Ooh, a mystery!
How does Death Gun kill his victim?
And everyone's in a pub.
Everyone's
in a video game.
Everyone, they're using the Amusphere or some shit, which shouldn't kill people, and people are dying in the game, and they've done autopsies, and they can't figure out why.
And so,
which is one of the dumbest point, which you'll quickly figure out because they talk about how the coroners actually examined the bodies, and we'll talk about this later, but once you find out how they died, you'll be like, what the fuck? How did the coroners never pick up on that?
Hey, the coroners in Japan are really shit, okay?
No, you can't spoil it yet. It's a really good revelation.
Okay,
so
but,
the agent approaches Kirito,
who?
and he's like, Kirito, I can't do this shit. I want you to catch the killer.
Oh, right, this...
Yeah, that's right. So, Kirito's basically, is actually, basically hired by the Japanese government, technically speaking.
Guys, you skipped the part where he goes to school for the first half of the episode with his other Sword Art Online friends.
Yeah, but I forget about that part.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
The first episode's really bad. He goes to school with his friends, and then a government agent gives him exposition for half an episode.
And then we're introduced to the best Sword Art Online girl, Sinon. Hell yeah!
Actually, she's in episode 2, not 1. Come on.
Well, I don't care. It's just near the beginning, so I don't. And you learn that. Oh man, really deep here. We're getting really deep. This is
don't.
Oh, we're gonna have to talk about PTSD scene on
PTSD. PTSD.
Don't.
It isn't that much of a spoiler. They kind of
they establish it.
They establish it really early on.
I guess you're right.
Like it's like one of the main.
It's the first thing that happens.
It's like one of the first things you
life.
understand about her character is that she shot someone as a kid and she can't get over
You don't
it.
understand that part yet, but you understand that she hates guns in real life.
Yeah, or
fast.
Dude, we're jumping the gun here, if you don't mind me.
I do mind you saying.
we're jumping
The death
the death gun.
These are basically spark notes.
But this.
So yeah, she gets bullied
Yeah, she gets Yeah, that's right. She's bullied, and
by somebody who points a finger gun.
and
at her.
she hates guns. She hates guns. Yet she's one of the most skilled players in
A gun game.
in a VR MMO called Gun Gale Online, where it's all about guns.
She's not scared of guns as long as she's wielding guns in the game, but not real life. Because if she touches a gun in real life, she gets super
She faints.
scared.
And she,
If she touches a gun in real life, she just passes out.
Yeah. And
That-
and
that
you know,
establishes well.
and then I think they introduced her by showing actually one of the most well animated fight scenes in the.
It's probably one of the only well animated in the OG Sword Art Online.
Yeah,
seasons.
yeah, where she does
Where you
some.
get to see her
cool-
butt really well.
Yeah, they show off her ass a lot, which I'm not complaining because it's like she has a pretty good
She has
ass.
a good ass.
Yeah,
She has an ass like every other
In fact,
character
she
in the
has one
show.
of the only good character designs in
she's
Sword Art Online.
She's
Come
my
on.
favorite character because she has the best character.
Yeah.
Hey, come on. You've got such great characters like.
Blue Austin is fucking horrible.
Blue, oh fuck off with Blue.
What
Asuna.
about Green Asuna?
Dude, fucking different colored Asanas are so shit.
What about Red Asuna? Come on.
OG
Hey man, we're
Asuna-
not supposed to be talking about alicization right now, okay?
I don't mind OG Asana's design, but fucking Blue Asuna is the worst.
Blue Asuna is so garbage. Real life Asuna is fine.
Yeah.
And yeah, but you
Actually,
know,
I don't think we get to see Blue Asuna.
Death Gun is
No, we
is
do. In
Oh,
season
you're
2.
right, we do.
so Death Gun is like a masterpiece of like fucking
Horrible pacing.
of just stupid bullshit. It's just
It's so great.
so Kirito, like, you know, you can't choose your avatar or some shit.
No,
in
he
it.
transfers his
Yeah.
account.
What?
He transfers his account
He
from
trans-
Alpine Online to
Yeah.
Gun Game Online because you can do
Because
that. with
remember,
some-
they all share the basic.
Yeah, they share the same code. The same
Yeah,
code.
Yeah, they all use the same code as Sword Art Online. The game.
They have the same source code. So like,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's canon, by the way. Yes.
That's canon.
Yeah.
So he
And-
transfers his save because for some reason you can't just have two saves.
and for some reason, VR after Sword Art Online, VR MMOs haven't become
They
taboo.
didn't instantly die.
Yeah.
And
for some reason.
Kirito looks a bit girlish.
So he transfers to this new game, Gun Gale Online, with a murderer.
Yeah.
And
He looks a little bit like a girl with his new
Yeah,
avatar.
I was gonna mention that he looks he becomes
when
a
you
trap.
transfer your account gets random spawned avatar. Let's go.
So in this season, Kirito becomes a trap in the
yeah,
VR.
so every character
virtual
that
world.
happens to look exactly like their avatar in Gun Gale Online, they're just lucky.
And he forgets at a certain point not to sound.
Yeah, he just kind of starts acting like a girl because it
Yeah.
was convenient.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he
and
tricks
then
then he
just
tricks
kind of
Xenon.
forgets.
He tricks Xenon into thinking that that he's a girl, and she.
But no, like it seems like when he got in the game, like his voice was slightly higher pitched, and at a
Yeah.
certain point, the
Yeah.
voice actor just forgot.
Oh yeah, exactly. No, it's hilarious. Yeah,
It's
and
great.
then they get. Then Xenon's like, hey, let's get changed together, and he's like, wait.
Wait, I'm a dude.
Wait, I'm a guy.
And then she's already happy.
And then she gets pissed and doesn't want to speak to him for like
5 minutes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, of course, after that, then she's like, wow, Kirito's the best. I want his cock.
It was an awakening experience for him. As soon as she felt violated by Kirito's male gaze, it
He
was
decided she really likes Kirito.
yeah.
So what actually happens is they go to sign up to a tournament,
Oh, and this one
And-
it's
And
it's,
then
it's
she changes.
the Death Gun, Death Gun arc is also pretty based because later on, Asuna gets NTR'd on live like TV or some shit.
Dude, yeah, don't
Don't
spoil
spoil
it.
it. We're going through this in order, man. Come on.
Yeah.
So they sign up for this tournament. Sinon starts changing in front of Kirito because,
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
and then she gets mad, and then she turns and sees her complete beta orbiter friend is like, dang.
Yes, like very
Kirito
stereotypical. Like
is
it's
such
like
a Chad, and
really-
then she just goes back to him.
it's like really stereotypical like beta orbiter simp character that like it's really funny.
Who's one of the central
Oh,
villains?
wait.
Hey man, you're spoiling as well, man. How
Oh,
Guys,
boy.
we missed a part. We missed a useless part where he buys his equipment.
well, who cares?
He
No,
gets a-
you have
does
to
really-
establish
it's
how
Kirito,
much
he does
of a
really
god
good.
gamer Kirito is.
He gets a lightsaber that makes stock lightsaber
Oh, yeah.
noises.
That's one of my favorite points of the show. He gets one of the worst. He uses one of the worst weapons in the game to use. Like actually, like everyone says, no, you'll
Yeah.
lose with a fucking sword, and then he's like, no, I'm going to use it anyways, and
But
he
it turns out that the sword is OP anyway, so...
and he destroys everyone.
He's cool, so he can do anything.
He can do anything with the sword. Well, it's not the sword that's OP. It's Kirito that's OP.
Well, yeah, exactly.
But before he does that, he goes and does this impossible game,
That was so
Um,
fucking stupid.
and he just wins first try because, why not?
He has gamer skills. So,
Yeah, he's just that much of a god gamer.
yeah.
And he just gets like $10 million from it or something.
Okay, what I'm going to ask about that is it that Kirito is so good, or is it so shit? Because that didn't look that tough.
Well, basically, the idea was everybody else was carried by the system, and Kirito was smart enough to look at a gun.
Yeah.
So they're just establishing that Kirito is an uber genius, and everyone else who plays the game is average.
Dude, Swordline's so cool.
So yeah, Kirito's canon IQ is 308, obviously.
Yeah.
So he wins this game. He buys a lightsaber, which everyone says is garbage, but one-shots everyone and deflects bullets. So it's actually really good. And then they go sign up, and Sinon gets changed in front of him.
Yeah. Okay, well that was important.
Yeah, very important to establish that he uses a
I like that there's like actual physical changing mechanics in the game as well.
Oh, I
If you
love
think-
that.
if you
when
think
you
about
have
that.
to actually unequip your clothes and then equip new clothes instead of just changing what's
Yeah,
equipped.
it's just going into a menu and selecting your clothes.
And it's a VR game where
Yeah.
you have to move your VR model into a touch interface.
Yeah.
Sword Art Online is it's acceptable in Gun Gale Online because it uses Sword Art Online's code. So you just blame Sword Art Online as the shit game.
Well, exactly.
Of course, yeah.
Then they go into like an event and Kirito kills a guy,
And stuff happens.
and then he kills another guy or something.
Yeah, and some stuff happens.
I don't think anything happens until he has to duel Sinon and just win.
Hey, they think stuff happens.
Do they even fake stuff happening? I don't think they do.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, so it turns out the tournament was only a preliminary, so him and Sinon qualify for the real tournament, and then the plot begins.
Does it?
I think, yeah, once they get into the tournament, the plot begins.
I honestly forgot a lot of what happens in Gun Go Online. I only remember the really great stuff.
Oh, well, if I miss any great stuff, you gotta remind me.
Okay.
And then the tournament begins, and then it's over, and then Kirito's cool.
Yeah.
That's a great summary. Okay, that's the end of the episode.
No, we still have to talk about part
we
two.
haven't
or
we haven't
part
even
two.
we haven't even talked about what makes the Death Gun a great villain.
Okay,
So,
so there's this one guy who starts camping on a rock. Oh wait, it's a battle royale tournament.
Death
so
Gun's
I'm sure you guys have all played Battle
going
Royale.
to stop him. And Death Gun's killing people in Gun Gal Online.
So Kirito sees like some mark or some shit that he recognizes, and they suddenly decide to add in this plot element to Aincrad that you've never seen before. There's like this
that's
entirely
really important if it happened.
That's entirely new flashback that like was never in the original Aincrad arc.
Black Coffin's a great series of antagonists.
Black Coffin that are just like that people just who kill for pleasure. And Kirito, they try to add character to Kirito and fail miserably, just so he can.
Dude, we've talked about it a bit before, PS1, but it's so great how they pretend Kirito as a character.
No, it's hilarious, and this is why Death Gun arc is one of my favorite arcs, is because how hard it tries to pretend Kirito as a character when he isn't, like, at all. Because the only reason they add to his character is so he has something to connect to Sinon with.
Yeah. Oh, Sinon has PTSD. I have PTSD.
Yeah. So they randomly decide that Kirito has PTSD from.
Kirito decides to develop PTSD because a girl in his harem got it.
Yeah, he randomly decides to develop PTSD because he killed another player who's actually an awful person. In Sword Art Online. An active murderer. He feels bad for killing an active murderer in Sword Art Online. Like,
and it was in self-defense as well.
Yeah.
He made the guy disarmed.
He's completely justified.
The only time Kirito's killed people in Sword Art Online. We've seen Kirito kill people in Sword Art Online.
It was like it's completely justified and would be seen as a heroic. It's completely justified and would be seen as a heroic act by everyone.
He kills like 3 other people in the show that we see.
But he's like, oh man, I killed someone. He's like, I killed someone, and I feel like such a horrible person for killing someone in this game, even though the person I killed was actually like a terrible person.
Fucking yeah. And I guess we can talk about what fucking let me just talk about the tragic backstory of Sion. So Sion was a little girl, and there was a big bad guy who came in.
You forgot that this was at a bank. Come on.
Who the
funny thing
forcefully from a bank.
Yeah.
And so she fucking killed him.
You know, the funny thing is that Sion is actually more justified in her PTSD than Kirito.
That's true.
Than Kirito is way more because she's way more justified in her PTSD than Kirito's because there's like 2 major factors as well. First of all, the person she kills is someone who's just robbing a place. They're not necessarily a completely like irredeemable person. They're just trying to take money and shit, right? Like, you know, they're not part of some fucking death cult.
Not an active murderer. An active murder.
I'm not saying, they're obviously doing a bad action or whatnot, but
then there's shit like,
and she's also the other.
My daughter murdered someone. I fucking hate my daughter now.
And then there's also the fact that she was a kid when she did it, which makes more sense. Like, that would be traumatizing if you were a kid and had to kill someone. Like, of course.
Yeah.
And then she decides to play a professional shooting game.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. I have difficulty believing that the mother of a kid, the first thing she'd think when she sees her kid defending herself is,
I hate you.
God,
oh yeah. I know. No, it's still really fun. It's still really funny as shit. It's still hilarious the way it's.
I like the part where
it's delivered.
I don't remember when it is, but that random clerk who the guy was trying to rob and was putting money in the bag. The clerk shows up later in the show at some point.
Yeah.
I like that part.
So of course, our god Kirito helps Sinon get over her PTSD clearly by being
somehow
Kirito.
He just does. He just does.
Yeah, he just does because he's Kirito, and she falls in love with him. So
Yeah, so they go.
But she cucks Asuna on live TV, basically.
Dude, yeah, she confesses to Kirito.
She snuggles up to Kirito
snuggles up to him and gets really close.
Hey
and
guys, if you want to stop spoiling it, you skip the part where the things happen. we need to tell them the premise of the tournament. It's a battle royale with
Oh yeah, they're playing Fortnite. They're playing Fortnite.
Yeah, they're playing Fortnite with
they're literally
players.
playing. This is actually like before PUBG and like literally the game they're playing is literally just.
They're playing PUBG before.
They're playing PUBG and Fortnite before PUBG and Fortnite even came out.
We got to explain that the way the mechanics for the guns.
The mechanics are really bad and primitive because this is pre-Fortnite. So it's a battle royale with a limited map size, we think.
And guns that don't actually hit where they're aimed at.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that too. But don't. No, that's fine. That's Fortnite, not this game. Oh wait, no, that is this game.
No, that is this game.
Oh right. So
they explain that it's a chance-based system of whether, even if you're pointed directly at something, whether you hit it.
Okay, so you guys know how in Halo there was a feature called Bloom, which randomized sort of your shot. That a more advanced version is in Gun Gale Online. So based on your heart rate, the range of your bullets bloom is bigger or smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can still dodge bullets.
Yeah, it's really cool, and
it's funny because Gun Gale Online is actually unironically looks like one of the better games to play.
It's way better than most of the other games.
Than most of the VR MMOs.
It's still based on the.
And ironically, like the game that's actually the game that the literal video game that takes place in the Gun Gale Online world, the Fatal Bullet, is actually like probably the best Sword Art Online game gameplay wise, even though the first hour or so was complete garbage.
So, yeah, it's a battle royale with like 30 people. They gotta kill everyone. There's cameras everywhere, and like every 10 minutes there's a satellite that tells you where everyone is.
Yeah.
But as I'm sure you guys know from all your Fortnite and PUBG experience, there's a ring that goes in to shrink you into a smaller space so you can't just camp. That doesn't exist in this battle royale, so first thing we see is a guy that camps on top of a rock with a light machine gun.
Oh yeah, that was
because the game has none of the mechanics that make
them work.
That make it so you can't just camp in one spot.
It doesn't have any anti-camping or reward, and you get to spawn with any of your own loot. So
it's not. You don't have an equal loadout or anything.
Yeah, so camping is really OP.
Yeah.
Remember the cool ninja guy that was there for?
So that guy who's camping,
it's like an incredibly unbalanced game.
Yeah, it's really not good. But,
remember the cool ninja guy that got killed by Death Gun in like 5 minutes after being introduced?
Oh yeah,
hey, it's not yet. First the camper kills this cool guy who's seen on new, and then we go to a bridge. And we get to see a fight between this other cool guy that Xenon knows and this really cool gymnast guy.
Uh-huh.
The gymnast guy
real-world experiences translate into this game.
Yeah, because he's a gymnast, he's just really good at gymnastics in the game.
If you have a history if you have military experience, you have an advantage over everyone else in this game.
Yeah, you have an objective advantage for of physical stats. Your IRL physical stats actually affect your gameplay in this game.
Yeah.
So anyway, the cool guy, he kills that other cool guy. He's a gymnast with a weird name, and they're like, "Oh, that must be Death Gun." And then
the ultimate cool guy, Death Gun, comes in and kills both of them.
Yeah, the Death Guy comes and kills the gymnast dude.
Oh, we forgot to mention, the Kirito and Sion had a hard time earlier, so now they're friends, and so now they're working on the same team, but they weren't for a while.
Yeah.
So
then during that battle, that's when Sion falls in love with Kirito.
No, that's after the battle.
Well, it's actually during. It happens.
Got her ass kicked by Kirito.
So the city thing happens, and then they run away to a desert, and then they snuggle for ages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's still during the same battle, though, right? So it's like, yeah.
I'm counting each one as different battles.
Okay, well, I just consider
you can count the entire tournament as one battle.
I consider it like the whole thing, like, because they're still in the same match. Because
we forgot to mention the
they have the qualification rounds, right? And then they have the one big. Yeah,
there's a qualification round we already finished talking about.
Yeah, I know. I'm just recapping right now. So
so there's qualifications that
I consider the whole match because in my mind I consider the whole match of PUBG to be a single battle.
Yeah, that's fine.
Guys, we forgot to mention the economy.
Oh right. The reason everyone plays this game is because you can legally trade in-game real life money for some reason. And that's why Xenon plays the game. She makes enough money to be a millionaire in life through this game, which she has PTSD from guns.
Yes.
Yeah.
Her PTSD makes no fucking sense.
It makes perfect sense. It just doesn't work with the game at all.
No, it's a character motivation that makes sense.
Like,
but
if you ignore...
everything surrounding it makes no fucking sense.
It's great. So then they go into after Death Gun kills that cool gymnast dude, they run away to a city.
And Death Gun chases them in a cool chase scene.
Yeah.
And Kirito knows how to drive.
There's an ambush, and then there's some smoke grenades. And Kirito runs away because there's more people.
Suddenly learns how to drive a vehicle that no one else has ever driven before.
Yeah, in canon, in this game, there's some vehicles that nobody else is physically able to drive for some reason, and
during this battle, they're trying to figure out how people can die by Death Gun.
Yeah, they're just talking about how does he kill in real life.
They're like, there has to be 2 of them, and yet guess what?
Yeah.
Wow, there is 2 of them. Wow.
Oh.
Kirito's like, oh yeah, there has to be 1 in real life and 1 in the game, so they just time it right.
Oh, but
and then watch out, and then Kirito's like, watch out, they might be in your room, Xenon. And then
they are.
and then you find out that it actually is the case.
there's just this fucking guy waiting there for Death Gun.
Almost a stereotypical incel is waiting inside.
The best part.
Xenon.
Guys forgot the best part.
Is one of the Death Gun.
Guys, but wait. Kirito and Xenon run to a desert, and then they kill Death Gun in the game, and then the tournament's over.
No, that's not it. That's not all. That's not all.
Then this thing happens where Xenon goes to real life.
You gotta explain how Death Gun works. Oh.
No, we gotta explain it after she goes into real life.
Okay, fine.
So the tournament ends, and then Kirito's like, "Careful, they're in your room," and then they log out, and they're in their room. Okay, now you can.
And so guy tries to rape Sion.
Yeah,
yes, my favorite, one of the best almost.
The Beta Orbiter guy is in her room with a poison to kill her, but he decides to try and rape her instead.
Yeah.
And
because
he just has a great voice actor for that scene where he just yells her
and
name.
then
hams it up to no end.
Yeah, and then of course Kirito comes in to save the day. Save the one from being raped.
But it doesn't work. The guy injects the stupid poison.
Yeah, but he has something to save him.
And then Xenon kills him with a gun or something.
Yeah, but Kirito actually didn't inject.
No, the guy never. No, this is one of the most stupid points. The guy doesn't actually ever die, though. Like, the villain doesn't die. He just ends he ends up in an insane asylum or some shit, right?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
She
just threatens him, and then he just cries.
And then she states her intent that he's going through stressful times right now, and he's not mentally well. I plan to go visiting him, even though he attempted to rape me.
He attempted rape and murder on me. I'm gonna visit him.
Yeah. He's just clearly he just needs some time to be right in the head.
Hey, she's a forgiving person.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Xenon is over her PTSD for guns now. She's cool again.
What was the stupid reason? I forgot. Stupid reason that Kirito survived being injected with poison there.
Oh, he didn't get injected. There was a
yeah, he got there was a block. Like he was.
There
like,
was a block for a heart monitor or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was injected instead.
Yeah.
Was gonna, but yeah, no.
I think
we're also forgetting. We're forgetting one more thing. We're forgetting the nurse character.
Oh yeah, the nurse who.
Oh yeah, there's a hot nurse who just turns
in bed. Yeah.
There's a nurse that really wants to bang Kirito, and
yeah, she really wants to bang him.
Yeah, like
she exists as his nurse. She takes care of his vitals when he's in the game. All that stuff.
Yeah, his vitals. Yeah, of course, his vitals.
Yeah, his penis.
Guys, we gotta talk about Death Gun.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
No, we didn't. We didn't talk about all Death Gun.
Okay, you can go talk about Death Gun.
Yeah,
yeah, fuck. Fucking Death Gun, the best villain ever.
Well, I mean, they build up to this whole thing. Like, why is he doing this? Why? How is
the reason? There's 3 people. One to RP his Death Gun. Yeah. So that Death Gun, the guy who's RPing his Death Gun, can send a signal to a guy who sends a signal to a guy to send that guy halfway across the city, so that when at the exact moment
they break into people's places and kill people
to shoot someone, this guy will be over their bed to inject them with lethal poison.
They just, and this assumes that they can just break into people's places, into people's residences and kill them.
This assumes there's no one else, and that they can get there in time. What's great is fucking. I love the idea of just Death Gun just like going, oh fuck, I can't shoot him yet. He's not in position.
Gotta book it across the city.
Get him across the city.
Oh, and
it's hilarious.
Scrub's point about
and the reason they do it,
that actually comes up in the tournament where Death Gun doesn't use his Death Gun to shoot Kirito because Death Gun the other Death Gun isn't over Kirito's bed, so you can't kill him.
They almost build up like Death Gun's character to have like some like one of those you kind of expect him to be like the way they build up Death Gun, you almost expect them to have like one of those villains with some sort of philosophy or some shit, right?
No, Death Gun's just a bunch.
But no, let me. But the way they build, I'm talking about the way they build it up. They expect you. It's like almost like they're like, oh, this guy.
Yeah, you expect him
he's going to be like a super. He's going to be like a super interesting character with like. No. And then it turns out, no, he has no good reason to be. He has.
They're just a couple of assholes that do it because why the fuck not?
They just do it because they like killing people. That's literally the only reason.
Yeah.
That's the actual reason.
They have like a flimsy excuse, but it doesn't make any sense.
Well, there's barely any philosophy behind their decision or anything. Like
they just like killing people.
They literally they're just part of a death cult and they just want to fucking kill people. Like that's the only reason. There's nothing more to it than we just want to fucking kill people and make a scene out of it.
Well, I think they have like a dumb excuse, but it doesn't really make any sense.
No, well, they have an excuse, but it's really stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, that was the Gun Gale Online, and then there's 2 more shitty parts that aren't Gun Gale Online. Are we talking about that?
Yeah, there's one that's actually probably one of the objectively better parts of Sword Art Online.
There's not much I can say about the AIDS girl arc because it's kind of boring.
Because that is probably objectively the most quality
of objectively
the most stories, but
objectively it's the most competently made.
The Alpine Online part where Klein gets a girlfriend.
Oh man, the fucking middle section after Gun Gal was...
Yeah, the really weird middle section. We've got to talk about
that. Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that. That section was kind of bad.
It was really
bad.
The only memorable thing was like...
Klein gets a girlfriend
who turns into Thor, right? Or some shit.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
So, as you know, Alpine Online uses Sword Art Online's code. So it has the ability to create its own quests. So it creates a world-ended quest where the evil Norse gods or the frost giants rise up, so they get all the players to kill all these elephant things but Kirito and his friends like one. So they just ride it to a pyramid in the sky.
And then Kirito gets a cool sword.
Yeah.
Which is raided in a dungeon.
It's one of the most they're really pointless episodes that just...
And while they're raiding this dungeon, all the elephant things are dying.
I don't actually recommend you watch it.
No,
it's really bad. Do not watch it.
You also see Elfheim Online Xenon, which was
you know, we often don't, you know, we're often not part of Sword Art Online, but don't watch these segments. If you want to watch, I mean, you can watch.
And then next up is
this one isn't worth watching.
This shitty part's not done yet. So
I
they start
fucking
raiding.
care. I don't care. Let's talk about the AIDS Scroll arc.
No, I want to talk about
who cares about who cares about this stupid dungeon crawling shit?
Okay, they raid the dungeon. Klein gets a girlfriend who transforms into Thor and one-shots the frost giant, and then Kirito gets Excalibur.
The end.
That's literally the entire plot. And the elephants just stay dead. That's just it. They just stay there.
And we don't, because Death Gun is so good. It's so good. but AIDS Scroll arc is objectively the best.
Is probably the only Sword Art Online arc
that's competently written.
Objectively speaking, AIDS Scroll's arc is the best one.
Yeah,
I'm trying. Okay,
but it's not the most entertaining.
It's boring as shit for the most part. So I don't have too much to say on it because it's boring as shit for the most part. Because they make Asuna the main character of it for some reason
instead of the most amazing character of all time, Kira.
Yeah, so...
except it's boring following Asuna because Asuna is a boring character and
just
her character is like exactly what you expected to be.
Kirito just comes in to show, oh yeah, I'm the main character.
But Asuna's and Asuna's exactly, her character is exactly what you expect it to be. It's like, Mom, why can't you approve of me?
Why can't you let me marry Kirito? I'm not going to let you marry Kirito because
that's literally her character.
Because he's too much of a gamer. He's too much of a game.
Cool. So you gotta go to college
and marry this rich guy. Because the last rich guy I wanted tried to rape you.
I'm a dick parent who's gonna make you take part in the arranged marriage because I'm cool.
I'm an arranged marriage, and Asuna is angry that I'm trying to control her life.
So then she makes friends with some girl in the virtual world who's dying from AIDS.
There's a lesbian for
her. In Alfheim Online, there's this character who she has AIDS. She shows up and duels people. She beats Kirito, but it's really implied Kirito throws the match.
I also love the explanation for why she has AIDS. Is that it was like
it was just at birth.
I don't think they ever I think they said
no. They did explain why. They did explain why she has AIDS, but it's really because they said
had it
because she got a blood transfusion or some shit, and the blood was infected with AIDS. Somehow like at a fucking hospital or some shit.
Yeah,
they gave her AIDS infected blood somehow. And that's
anyway, we're making fun of it, but this is actually it's actually kind of emotional.
Oh yeah, it's actually...
well, no, I like that. No, I'm just saying that's a straight up. That's actually the dumbest part of the arc.
It is. That's
the explanation of how she gets AIDS. Everything else is fine.
I like the idea that they're what they're using the virtual reality with her.
Well, it explores a lot more. It explores a lot more interesting ideas than like anything else. But it's only.
She's really good at games.
I only enjoyed it.
Person can't move their body, so they're conscious inside a game.
I only enjoyed the arc at all. Like when it got near the end, because
after all the boring parts where they had to play the game,
because like a lot of the shit, for a lot of it, it just feels like kind of boring.
Filler, basically.
It's basically filler, and yeah, you could argue that you're supposed to be growing closer to the characters, but a lot of dialogue isn't interesting at all. It's really like robotic dialogue for most of it.
A lot of it is boring, but
yeah, as soon as they get out of the game shit, it
once
gets
they
better.
finish the game part, it gets way better.
Yeah,
The
but
real
like,
life parts are actually way better.
But like, it's kind of weird because by the end, it was the only few times where Sword Art Online actually managed to get an emotion out of me that wasn't just fucking this shit is ridiculous. Yeah. and it really surprised me.
Yeah.
So the plot of AIDS Girl's game part of the arc, she duels people to find a cool person who's strong. She invites Asuna to her guild, and then she gets her guild to beat a floor boss in New Aincrad.
Yeah.
By the way, they restored Sword Art Online at some point.
For Asuna.
The reason they do this is if a solo guild beats a floor boss, each player's individual name gets placed on there. But if multiple guilds are there, only the guild name gets placed on there.
Also, she's gay for Asuna.
Oh yeah, she's
there's a lot of like lesbian tension between.
There's so much
tension going on.
The only reason she doesn't steal Asuna from Kirito is because
Kirito.
She dies and Kirito.
Oh, that too. She's dead. Well, she never meets Kirito, which is why she's the only lesbian in the show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and then she dies. Spoilers.
And
it's actually kind of sad.
Actually, a really morbid scene when like all of the other sick people come
all
together.
These other people. It's actually kind of sad. 'Cause, like all these other people who are basically doomed to fucking die at some point come to comfort her in her last moments, and it's actually
really kind of sad.
It was actually like sad. Like it was actually genuinely like a somewhat well done scene.
No, yeah, I mean it's ruined a little bit when like a bunch of side characters come in halfway through, but still it's a.
But you have to remember, this is the guy who wrote Sword Art Online. This is by far his best.
It's like a stellar compared to everything else.
Scene in Sword Art Online that has like gotten genuine feelings out of us.
Until there's actually like one. Until when we talked about Alicization.
Oh yeah, that's true.
There's another scene, but
Alicization is really good at getting sheer boredom out of us.
Yeah.
Well, Alicization.
We're not talking about Alicization.
I'm not talking about Alicization.
But most of Alicization, the first season at least, was incredibly boring. But then it got really Kino in the last part.
Yeah, but we're already covering half. We're already covering half of what we're going to be talking about.
Stop spoiling it.
I'm not spoiling anything. I'm vaguely saying.
Okay, you're going to cut out this part.
No, I'm not cutting out this part. That would take too much effort. I don't.
You want to like talk for 5 minutes about that awful movie?
Which one?
Oh God, fuck the movie. I forgot about the movie.
You want to just really shortly?
Let's just talk about it. Let's talk about it shortly, so we never have to talk about it again. Okay, we can say we talked about it.
we watched. Okay, we're now talking about Ordinal Scale.
It was shit.
So there's an alternate reality game.
There was some funny stuff in it, but it was boring and awful.
Full disclaimer: we watched the Italian dub with English subtitles.
Oh yeah, the Italian dub
was really good.
The Italian dub was amazing. I loved it.
It was actually a good dub.
It was really good. Like, way better than the English dub. Arguably better than the Japanese dub.
Yes.
It was actually the most pleasant to my ears, I think, of Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
The voice actors were really good. We fully recommend if you're going to watch this movie.
But this Ordinal Scale suddenly decides that the Kirito's friends matter again for some reason.
Yeah.
Do you
guys remember the plot? I do.
Things in this movie, but it's a lot of it.
There's an AR game. There's a guy who's trying to resurrect his dead daughter or some shit by collecting the memories
of everyone who was in Sword Art Online.
Yeah, like he's the main villain, and he's taking away people's memories so he could reconstruct his daughter.
Which, spoiler alert. This does get incorporated to a degree in Alice.
Dude, spoilers.
Oh, fuck. Sorry.
So this guy, his daughter died in Sword Art Online. So he creates an alternate reality game and adds a bunch of Sword Art Online bosses to bring in.
And there's a guy who's like a secondary villain. He's
the movie very much
can move super fucking fast in real life.
Yeah, it's in real life. Kirito's shit at games, and then he just decides to be really at some point.
Oh yeah, Kirito's shit for like a lot of the movie, and then he just suddenly becomes good.
And somehow this guy, when we're like, it switches real time. This guy's really fucking fast.
Yeah, he's really. He basically has a superpower.
We're going to get the superpowers now.
Okay. We got to stop bringing up Alicization, sir.
Okay, fine.
Oh. Okay, so this guy is cool. He kills a bunch of in the game kills a bunch of Sword Art Online people, which just knocks them out.
Yeah.
And steals their memories because that's what the thing does.
Yeah.
But
so when all the Sword Art Online players have been killed in game at some point, this guy thinks he can rebuild his daughter.
There's this thing that it damages the spine or something, and the spine gives the memories. I don't fucking.
I don't really care about summarizing this shit too much. So basically, if you want a summary, it's a movie that overstays its welcome.
I'm going to say watch it if you want. There are some funny. But
it's really this is why it's worth it. You get to see Asuna's nipple in it.
That was really worth it. You get to see Asuna's nipple.
Yeah, that's the best part of it.
At least in the version
it's like actually like legit. You see there's actual nudity in this movie.
Yes, there's a brief scene where you see
like it's like for a millisecond, but they actually show it. They show Asuna's nipple. They give her a nip slip.
You see Asuna's new breast, and it's a quick scene, but it's good,
And so obviously the daughter reconstruction plan.
Do we really got to talk about this anymore?
So it almost works, and then Kirito and his friends put on their VR headsets in AR
and go somewhere.
There's an AR raid going on, and they all get transferred to Sword Art Online Floor 100.
Final boss.
And they have to beat the super final boss of Sword Art Online.
But I thought Kayaba was the secret boss of Sword Art Online.
Yeah, he was. Don't worry about it. It's a plot hole.
I guess not now.
Well, okay. So, yeah.
And it's a cool scene. They kill the boss, and then the movie's over.
Oh yeah, and Kirito gets his original outfit for some reason.
Oh yeah, Kirito just has magic to summon his outfit in this. This is where he develops it. He uses it again because he's cool.
And one other funny thing, I guess, is, we were too fucking exhausted at this point, but when there's VR monsters that are attacking people, they're acting like they're an actual threat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the only people who could have a threat are the Sword Art Online players, but they don't know that. But they all take the AR game like it's a real threat.
Well, one thing we've constantly Sword Online has constantly established is that people love to seriously LARP in
love LARPing in Sword Art Online.
They take it super seriously. Like no one can play games like regular friends or some shit. They have to take it like a life or death situation, like every single fucking time. It's not believable in the slightest, and that's why it's hilarious.
Yes.
The only time it ever felt believable was literally at the beginning of Sword Art.
When it was literally life or death.
When it was literally life or death at the beginning of the original Sword Art Online, where you actually get to see Kirito hang out with Klein for a bit, and it actually feels like two friends playing a game.
Yeah.
And that's the only time SAO ever captured the feeling of friends playing games at all, ever.
Hey, you might be right. No, wait. No, I think you're right.
He's completely right.
What about that time where that guy committed suicide because all his friends died?
What?
Oh, that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
That was just like how your friends act.
Yeah, you gotta respawn where all your other friends are respawning.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is over.
Yeah.
We've.
Oh wait, we need to give ratings.
No, we don't need to give ratings.
Movie is a 0 out of 10. Everything else is a
Death
16.
Gun is a 11 out of 10, man. Death Gun
I
is
give Death Gun
11 out of 10.
I give Death Gun a 420 out of 69.
I give it 100 out of 10.
Oh, wow, okay, yeah, totally.
I give Sword Art Online in general 200 out of 10.
But wouldn't that make Death Gun one of the worser arcs, then?
No, because Season 1 is pretty bad. Then Gun Gale Online is pretty bad. And then Alicization is just a 2,000 out of 10.
Of course.
Except for the parts where Alicization is 10.
Well, Alicization is either 10 out of 10 or it's astronomically high.
I guess the next time we'd be talking about this is when Alicization complete.
We're going to talk about this once Alicization
completely wraps up.
We need to talk about Alicization and then Alicization.
Yeah, but we might as well talk about all of it in one go.
Guys, but we gotta. Are we really going to? We gotta talk about Alicization.
No.
Not now, I guess, but
Now.
Yeah. That sums it up for the second season of Sword Art Online.
Yeah. Please subscribe to our second channel.
Please subscribe to our second channel for Let's
Oh man, I feel so bad when I see that all my hard work reacting in a bored way to a video gets wasted by just a few viewers. Oh man,
Yeah, you don't even get main channel content.
It's almost like low effort content doesn't get many views.
Hey man, our donut reviews are high effort. Get any views?
The donut reviews are the worst parts.
There's still high effort. We've got to meet up and then go find donuts to eat and then buy them and then review them.
They're not that high effort. Come on, man. Let's be honest.
Let's be honest.
They're more high effort than anything on the game. The second.
I guess. Yeah.
No, they aren't.
We have to actually do stuff.
You just fucking eat donuts in front of a camera.
You don't understand how hard it is to find donuts. Because we just keep getting new donuts.
Yeah, we don't like repeating that. We actively try not to repeat.
Yeah, so trying to find new donuts is actually a decent amount of.
Okay, well, this episode.
And then actually finding the donuts. We've had like hour-long walks from trying to find donuts.
If you want to bring this episode by some, you want to have a.
Oh, is this sponsored? What?
You want to have this? No, remember our gig. You know, this episode is sponsored by blank funny thing.
Yeah. This is a haha funny moment. Sponsor haha. This is sponsored by Alcoholics Anonymous. They're congratulating Scrub for getting over his fucking.
Yeah, I got over my.
Not over one of his addictions that are shameful, but he's still into a few other things.
I mean, I still occasionally just want to fucking smoke a big joint of pay to win, but you know.
You want to smoke a big waifu joint of fucking...
Yeah. Fucking awful fake Grand Order waifus, yeah.
Come on, they're not all awful.
Most of them are.
Only 75% of them are.
Yeah, 75% are really bad.
Do you think 25% are good?
Yes. There are some good waifus in fake Grand Order.
The one saber face that likes to kill all the other saber faces. That's a pretty.
I can relate to that.
That's a cool waifu.
Yeah, but 25% is a pretty high number.
Hey, there's some waifus I like in fake. Not many, but there's some.
Yeah, but you played the game for 7 months. You just have Stockholm syndrome.
I'm not going to deny that. I mean, I am. You know, I do occasionally.
I can confirm that there's
like at least when I think about fake Grand Order.
There's at least 25% acceptable waifus because I've looked up the porn before.
Yeah.
Yes. There's like Astolfo.
No.
Yeah, a good waifu.
I'm not into traps, so I can't agree.
No. You know, not even gonna lie, Astolfo's one of the better traps.
I'm not joking. Astolfo is definitely in the top half of Fate Grand Order.
Yeah. Oh, here's my brief review of Fate Apocrypha because I've pretty much watched the entire thing for some reason.
Why?
So I don't know. So the best part is in the first half. It loses all focus in the second half. Still better than Fate Grand Order. Okay, that's the episode.
Yeah, hope you enjoyed. That really got off topic from SAO there, but cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Okay. Have a and make sure not to stab yourself anytime soon.
We'll make a Halo machinima, and we'll be cool.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. Expect that to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, my microphone's already terrible, so that should be pretty easy.
So yeah, thanks for listening and goodbye.
Goodbye.